Now, how about them damn Celtics?
All right, we're back with another Boston Celtics video. Today we're looking at another draft prospect. This time, Texas Tech's Christian Anderson. I'll pull up the Ringers little blurb on him. They have a nice little graphic that I can share on the screen. They have him ranked 29th on their big board. I know a lot of other places have him a little bit higher. Some have him a little bit lower. So with the Celtics picking at 27, I don't think it's too out of the realm of possibility that he could be available there for them. They say quick shooter, pull-up threat, score, float game, good passer. Do they have some guys here? Yeah, vision board. They see Darius Garland as a high-level guy. Ooh, this is fun. Mike Bibby, Trey Burke, Luke Rindauer. Came out of the German Academy, averaged 18.5, 3.6, 7.4 at Texas Tech. 41.5% from three on 7.9 attempts. Certainly an interesting prospect.
Yeah, I feel like the Celtics, it's not that they don't have guards, because they do. Obviously, Derek, Peyton, Ron Harper, but they really, it feels like you missed Anthony Simons a little bit in the playoffs, and that's not to say that trading him was a mistake. Whether you feel that way or not is probably justified either way. I think there are arguments for both sides of that. But now, as they turn the page going into next season, thinking about what they could use, it feels like somebody like Christian Anderson could not only be like a good kind of right away guy. I think his defense has questions. I don't want to get overzealous here, but he's a really good pick and roll ball handler and decision maker. He can shoot the shit out the ball. He has shot creation ability, and he can get downhill out of the pick and roll. He's not a great one-on-one get to the rim guy, which I don't know how that should sway me, but there's a reason why he's this low with these numbers, to say the very least. And we can look at the film, we could talk more about it. But I think he has upside as somebody who, you think about the Celtics, and we did the video yesterday on the draft and how like they haven't had lottery picks to get high impact guys. And we've seen teams get high impact, specifically guards that feel like come out of the 20s because they're more risky picks. And it feels like the Celtics could be due to hit on one of these. Not to say Pritchard doesn't count, because he absolutely does, but who's next?
Yeah, I don't hate adding a guard at 27. I think the Celtics could use a little bit more help at the position. Like Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Ron Harper. That's really your guard position next year, and that's without considering, do the Celtics want to trade maybe Derek White? Like, is that in the cards? Because I mean, as tough as it is to suggest, trading Derek White and or Jaylen Brown is really one of your best pathways to meaningful success when it comes to top end talent. So if you do trade one of those guys, you'd be left with Pritchard and Ron Harper at the one. And having a guy like Christian Anderson in the pipeline, if nothing else, could be a useful commodity. Crafty score from what we're seeing so far. I will say, spoil a little bit, this long of the No Ceilings video is scoring up to there. This long is playmaking, and then this little itty bit at the end is defense. Behind, you can't even see it with our faces on the screen right here. This little itty bitty bit right here is defense. So clearly not a defensive minded prospect, which maybe that's, against what some people might be looking for. But I think adding an infusion of offense to the point guard position wouldn't be a bad idea.
I think at 27, it's really hard to expect that you get a perfect, well-rounded guy. I think you're going to have drawbacks. I think some of the defensive concerns have to do with size, both height and strength. He's only 180 pounds. He's 6'1", I think, at the combine, so he's a little undersized. He was listed at 6'3" at Texas Tech with no shoes, 6'1". And because of those things, if he's on the floor for the Celtics next year or whoever drafts him, he's going to be the type of player that opposing offenses will try and go at. It's especially playoff time. Like, that is par for the course when it comes to vetting out the weak points. I mean, it is the killer whale offense. Teams know about this. It's not a secret. But when I wrote about him for Harvard Houdini, I did a pretty widespread look to see what people are saying about him. Like, Kevin O'Connor's rather low on him compared to others. Some of the No Ceilings guys are a little higher on him. The defensive blurb on him is Anderson competes on defense. That speaks volumes, given that guards who have to do so much to drive success on the offensive end aren't always inclined to give the most effort and attention to detail on defense. I don't see lapses in effort or awareness from Christian on the perimeter defensively. He will navigate through ball screens, rotate, switch, and contest shots as needed, And when he does get matched up with someone with a size advantage, he never just gets thrown around like a rag doll. He stands his ground, knows how to play against those matchups without fouling. For what it's worth, this year, Christian Anderson played 38.8 minutes a game in 40-minute college games. So he only sat for a minute. That tells you two things. One, he's durable. Two, he knows how to stay out of foul trouble, because you cannot be on the floor that much when you're playing that many minutes. And, to pile on what Nathan Grubel said for the No Ceilings article, if he could be on the floor for that long, giving you everything he has on offense and still not seem like he's not trying on defense, I think that does speak to his character. Anderson's also a guy who improved a lot between his freshman and sophomore seasons. And I think that growth can't be ignored in terms of, as a worker, what he's willing to do to keep getting to the next level. And defense at some point is going to have to be the thing that he improves, and that will be a deciding factor of if he sticks in the NBA. And I think that's the reason why he's so low for some draft experts. But I think there are a lot of things to be excited about, and I think he's a serviceable player. You're muted now.
Thank you. He looks good. The scoring looks good. The shot looks good, which should translate at the next level. Like, it looks like a shot that it doesn't look funky. It looks standard. Like, it looks good. The driving is nice. Comfortable with the ball in his hands. How many turnovers did he average per game?
3.3. So he averaged a fair amount, but the assist to turnover was still over 2.
And he played a lot, so I guess it's not too bad. That's something to keep an eye on, I suppose. Let me look at some of the playmaking. Let's switch gears for a second.
He's a really patient passer from what I remember watching. Like, out of the pick and roll, he does that. Like, he does a great job of misdirecting defenses with his eyes. He finds the open man. Like, some of this stuff is just so high level, smart, processing in the moment. And I like that he shows that he can operate under pressure. Like, he's getting blitzed out of these pick and rolls. This is not nothing.
He's making good passes. Smart passes.
I mean, it's a highlight tape, so there's definitely some negatives. The turnovers.
I would want to watch.
Are what they are.
I feel like he's the type of player where I would want to watch a full game, because I want to know how many of these situations ended in turnovers or ended in him putting up a bad shot versus making the right pass. I would want to know how many of the shots that he was taking in these ended up in missed shots, ended up in bad possessions for his team. Like, that's kind of, obviously they were a good basketball team. I'm not doubting that, but from what I've seen, it's good, but it's almost too good for where he's ranked. So I would want to watch a normal game to see what's wrong. If that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. Think it's reasonable. Let me see if I can pull up. Well, I have his basketball reference up right now. I'm going to look at the game logs and see if we have the tournament stuff. 2 tournament games. They win the first round by 20. He's 6 of 12, 2 of 6 from 3, 5 assists, 4 steals, 2 turnovers against Akron. Round 2 against Bama, 2 of 11 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3. Only 2 turnovers, but 3 assists, 4 steals, and only 7 points in that one. So it was not a strong showing against a better side.
He's good hustle on defense. He's trying. I mean, that's half the battle. It's not perfect, but again, I would want to watch a full game to see how many of these possessions are matched by lesser ones. I like Christian Anderson. He looks good. He looks solid. I do wonder, it's hard because this is the first guard we've looked at, so I'm curious how many of them could look better than Christian Anderson versus the first guard we've looked at in this year's draft class. So that's where some of my hesitation lies, but he looked good. He looks like a guy, if they ended up taking him at 27, that means they liked him, and based on everything I see, there's plenty of good reasons to like him.
KOC has him at 39. Compares him to Emmanuel Quickly, Fred VanVleet. Concerns frame, he's on the smaller side. We know that. Defense at his size, he'll automatically be a target. Defensive effort, however, is in the strengths category. Turnover.
Mm-hmm.
Anderson is far too sloppy with the ball. His handle gets loose. He struggles to deal with traps. He carelessly passes the ball into traffic, and he jumps without a plan. Okay, so it seems like some of the highlights that we were watching were not to say misleading because there definitely happened, but there are as many bad instances as there were good. 7 games with at least 5 turnovers, 1 game with 7 turnovers. He had a harder time against stiffer competition. His turnover percentage ballooned from 13% against quad 3 and 4 schools to 23% in quad 1 and 2 games. Driving to the rim at his small stature, he's a very jumper dependent guy, only tends to take shots inside when there's a clear opening. And against the better teams, quad 1 and quad 2, his rim attacking dropped.
You guys watching might not see this because the Big 12 posted it, so they might just say you're not allowed to post this. But so if they did, then I'll cut it out of the video or put a big blurb over it while we discuss. But I just want to watch like 2 minutes of him in an actual game setting. He's number 4 with the ball in his hands against
I like that
Arizona.
you're intrigued enough to want to investigate.
I don't like he's good. There's a reason he's 27. Like there's a reason all of these guys are low on the board. Like I want to see the bad. I think that's just as important as the good. And I think it's more important than ever with a lot of these players to realize the bad, because the bad can often outweigh the good. Like if you're not putting in effort, if you're sloppy with the ball, like there's certain things where I think you could get tripped up in the Celtics developmental system. And I think he showed a lot of promise when it comes to potentially flourishing, but we didn't really have the chance to see any of the negatives. So I want to see. That's crazy. They passed it all the way to the backcourt.
Yeah. I mean, these draft picks are more important than ever. The Celtics only have we did the video yesterday, and like, is it ridiculous to criticize the Celtics for drafting? Yes, but at the same time, we can't stress enough how important it is that they do what they can with their first round pick and second round pick this year, because it's really the freest way to add talent right now. You're getting players who are going to be on cheap contracts. You're getting guys who could potentially impact winning right away if you play your cards right. And when you think about building a contender, that is important. So, you know, if you pick Christian Anderson, you take what you think he does well, and you see how that can help your team. And thinking about the way the Celtics went out in the playoffs, it does feel like they could use some offensive like intrigue, some fireworks type thing. But another issue with him is he had the ball in his hands a lot. And so even if he's able to have opportunities to handle the ball with the Celtics, there are going to be plenty more times where he is not the on-ball guy offensively. And seeing how he adjusts to that will be something to watch.
Mm-hmm.
This is a riveting game that we've chosen. 2 minutes in.
Yeah, 0-0. Yeah, can he play off the ball is a good question. I mean, he shot well enough from 3, or you have to assume yes. He hasn't been on the ball for all of these possessions, for what it's worth. He's bringing the ball up, but then he pretty quickly gives it up and then goes over to the wing. Top and tying his shoe in the middle of the possession. Yeah, he kind of gives it up, lets them run their thing, and then if it doesn't work, it gets back to him. I mean, he looks good. He looks confident. I haven't seen anything in these first couple minutes, at least. Obviously, there's a lot of game left, but I'm not going to make you guys sit here for 40-minute basketball game. He looks good. He looks solid. If this is our draft board, let me share the tab.
I wasn't there for B tier.
Okay. Terrace Reed. Let me find a picture of him and add him to the thing. What do you think for Christian Anderson, though, when we get there?
I think I'm going to put him on the B tier. I think there is real intrigue. I think he's different than what the Celtics have right now, at least thinking of like their second unit. That's the way I'm looking at pick 27 and pick 40. I don't really expect anyone to come in and be a starter or to even be like in the top 2 guys coming off the bench. They're going to have to earn every minute they get. And with that being said, I think he's different than all of the stay ready guys. Like Ron is a guard, but he's an off the ball defensive guy. Like they don't have a microwave unless you're going to keep bringing Pritchard off the bench. They don't have a microwave guy. And it feels like they could use the extra offense. The recency bias is real, but that's my reasoning.
I don't hate B. I like him more than Isaiah Evans. So like we can put him above him. If you put like I would like this for the Celtics specifically in this draft. But if you'd rather keep it there, that's fine.
No, that's fine. The reason why we put him at B is I just thought it was a good starting point. I like the other two guys better than him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's completely reasonable. I still think Zuby's my number one. I just think he does a lot of great things. I think his defensive versatility is really intriguing, considering that's another area the Celtics are lacking, specifically like from their big men. We're sitting here thinking about it like, okay, Al Horford's gone. Even if you like manage to bring him back in the summer, which is probably sub 40% chance of happening, like he's not getting younger. He's not maybe not even the same player that he was 2 years ago. Like you have to start thinking about who can be a big body that you can trust to guard multiple front court positions. And Zuby seems to have the blueprint for that, at least right now.
Yeah, for sure. Let us know what you guys think. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'll let Sam pick it up.
Yeah, thanks for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. We're here every single day with new stuff. Full pods Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, game recaps morning after each game. Other videos are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and recaps are there. You can leave a 5-star review. Follow us. We'd appreciate that. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. If you have prospects you want us to take a look at, let us know. hbtcpod@gmail.com. A lot of days left till the draft, so we'll have plenty of time to look at the tape. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's name of the podcast. All the streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is Jack's1NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Tic-tac-toe.